Welcome back, guys. Sherry here, the Lightning Temple. Now, if you don't know how to get here or you don't know how to get into the Lightning Temple, you can click the link in the upper right-hand corner. I'll also leave a link in the description. But if you just want to see how to solve it, let's get into it. Now, when we first get in here, guys, we're going to see a chest, and it's just buried into the sand. Now, just use your Ultra Hand, and you can pull it right out of the sand. And, guys, I highly recommend that you target a treasure chest. Now, if you don't have the sensor and you don't know how to get the sensor, you can click the link in the upper right-hand corner. I'll also leave a link in the description. But there's lots of treasure chests in here, guys, and you might not want to miss one. Now, as you just saw, there is a weapon hanging on the wall. It's like a Korok Frond Guster or something. But basically, we're going to use this to move some of this sand. You'll see a big sand pile in the middle of the room. Let's just blow all of the sand away, and we're going to reveal a button. All we have to do is just step on this button. And guys, you're going to see lots of jars just sitting around. Now, it's up to you, but I would suggest that you bust some of them because a lot of them are going to have arrows in them. And some of them may even have amber, and I think I even found an opal in one of them. So, completely up to you. But all we're going to do is let's just make our way through the doorway. You're going to see an entire set of stairs. Let's run down the stairs, and then you're going to kind of come to a bridge. Now, you can jump over the bridge. The first one, you're just going to find, I guess, a key swing and some Gibdo bones. Now, to be able to get back up, all we have to do is just ascend back through the bridge. Now, the second bridge, we can drop off, and there's going to be a treasure chest. However, there's also going to be a Gibdo down here. Now, we can throw some dazzle fruit. Just because this is a small area, I wouldn't suggest throwing a bomb flower or anything. But all we have to do is just throw a dazzle fruit at it. It's going to turn white, and that's when we can attack it. Then we can just use ascend and make our way back out of here. Now let's just keep going straight, and you're going to run into this room. It's going to have a couple of jars in it, but then you're going to see some of these stones. All we got to do is remove these stones. Now, I pushed one of the stones forward. There is a Gibdo in here. I guess he got trapped underneath the stone, and I couldn't really get to him. I had to let him turn back. Once he did, I just hit him again with some dazzle fruit. Take care of him. There's going to be a chest in here. There is also a stone slab in here. If you move it, you can reveal a weapon. But just grab your chest, let's turn around, and let's just go back out the way we came. Now let's just head to the left where you see these flames. Now be careful. Well, you don't have to be careful, but the floor is going to fall out from underneath you. If you jump down, you're going to find an electric keys. You're also going to see another stone slab. You can move it, which will reveal another weapon. Then let's just use ascend, and we can make our way out of this hole. And once you make it back up top, let's just head towards the flames. Now be careful, right here before the flames, you're going to see a couple of Gibdos. I just threw a dazzle fruit at them and took care of them. Now, I guess you could use some flame-proof armor, but these flames are pretty easy to run by. Now, once you make it past the flames, we're going to see a button on the floor. Let's just stand on it, which to me doesn't really make any sense because the button comes after the flames. But anyway, let's just stand on this button. But let's just keep going. And guys, be really careful after you go through this door. Don't do like I did. We're actually going to see, I guess, these balls, and they're going to be on fire. So all I did was just kind of wait on one. I used recall, and then I ran down the hallway. Now, if another one comes, you can always just hit it again with recall. But then we're just going to go to the right, and it's the same thing. We're going to find a button on the floor. And again, it's after the fireballs. So those two things just really didn't make that much sense to me, but let's keep going. And guys, this is pretty much a straight shot. We're going to come to a hallway, and then we're going to run into another Gibdo. Just take care of it until we come to this room where you can jump off. Now, if you kind of go to the right-hand side, we can find another treasure chest in here. It's just like a little hidden hallway, and when you get in here, you're going to see this rotating wheel, and on one side of it, it's got spikes. So all we want to do is just stand up here in the wheel, hit it with recall. There's going to be a chest in behind it. And then after you grab your chest, just be careful. Use recall again if you need to, but just make your way back across the wheel. Now, once you make your way back into this room, you're going to run into, there's a mushroom here, and you're going to run into some Gibdos. I just used a dazzle fruit, They turn white. They're easy to kill after that. Take care of those, and then you can use Riju's power, and you can hit the pink orb that's on this mushroom. Now, there is another stone slab here. You can move it, which will reveal a bow. That's probably a good bow to pick up. But after that, guys, let's just make our way back up the steps. And then let's just head towards these 2 torches. Now, you're going to see another set of stairs. Let's just make our way up the stairs. And then we're going to make our way into this room. And when you get here, you're going to see a construct. Just take care of him. And then if you use your Ultra Hand, you're going to see, I guess, these 2 blocks just laying on the ground. Now, if you jump in behind these blocks, you're going to find another chest. And the floor is going to drop out from underneath you. Now, the only thing down here that I could find, there is a spear in behind these flames. You can grab that if you would like, but let's just ascend to get back out of here. And then let's just make it back into the room where we saw the light that's just kind of shooting out of the floor. Now, you're going to see some sand piles. This first sand pile, if you clear the sand, there's going to be another construct. And then you're going to see, I guess, a mirror that is buried in the sand. You can use Ultra Hand and just pull the mirror out. But what we want to do is let's just hold this mirror in the light until you'll see this little pad on the wall. Until the light will hit this little pad and it turns green. Now, all we want to do is let's just make our way through the door. Let's just keep going straight until we actually get into the main room of the temple. You're going to see Riju here. You're also going to see the little hand thing. Let's go ahead and touch the hand thing, which is going to give us a fast travel. Now from here, guys, on the right-hand side, you're going to see a couple of jars. And behind those jars, you're going to see a block. If you'll use your Ultra Hand, it'll glow. Let's just remove this block. And in behind this is going to be our first battery, because that's what we have to do. I guess we have to activate these batteries. Now, we have to have Riju's power to do this. She takes forever. I don't know. Walk around, try to find her, whistle at her. But once you get her, use her ability, and let's hit this gong-looking thing. Now, it doesn't open the door, so we just kind of have to make our way out the way that we came in. And we have 3 of these left. So once you make your way out, you're going to see, I guess, some of this wind coming from the floor. Just make your way over there. There's going to be a block laying on top of this. Let's remove this block because we're going to use this gust of wind to get up into the air. Now, once you get up into the air, I guess if you'll look where this torch is, that is where we're going. But now, once you get up here, just be really careful. There is a construct around the corner. Don't do like I just did. But once you take care of him, we're going to see a couple of these wheels turning around. Now, there are 2 of these wheels, so all we got to do is let's use recall, and we're going to hit the first one here in the front and kind of get the openings lined up. Now, once you get the openings lined up, let's just make our way across them. And once you make it on the other side, we're going to see some removable blocks. And there's going to be a light shining behind these blocks. Now, let's just go ahead and remove these blocks. And then let's turn around and let's make our way out of here. Because this light is actually going to shine through these wheels. When the wheels turn around and it has an opening, it's going to shine through. And then it's going to open this gate for us. But give it just a minute. Let the wheels turn again. And if you'll look across the big room, the main room, the light is going to shoot across through there. It's going to hit another pad, which is going to reveal, I guess, well, it's going to push this statue back. And it's going to reveal a doorway. So now all we got to do is make our way over there. Now we can jump across the room and we can use, I guess, this gust of wind. Get up in the air and then just make your way over to where the light is shining. Now there's going to be a button on the ground. Let's just stand on this button. The statue's going to move out of the way. And then let's just keep making our way down into this other room. Now, when you get here, you're going to see these walls that have these spikes on them. Let's just use one of these blocks so that we can get across these spikes. And then when we get in here, we're going to see some more blocks. And then you're going to see a wall going up and down that has spikes on it. Now, let's take this block, let's put it on its end, and let's put it next to the wall so that we can make our way under it. You're going to run into a construct. Just take care of him. But just make sure you've got this block up on its end and stick it next to the wall, guys, because we're going to go back in through here and we need a light to shine underneath this spiked wall. Okay, now there is another construct in here. And guys, I actually fell down in the hole, but that's okay. That's where we need to be. We need to go down. Now, once you get down here, you're going to see these 2 stakes. We just need to take one of these stakes, and if you'll look on the wall, you're going to see one of those pads. We just have to take one of these stakes and stick it into the wall to where the pad is exposed. Now, once you get this into the wall, if you'll look around, you're going to find a mirror. It's just kind of buried in one of these sand piles. Let's just use our ultra hand. Let's pull the mirror out. And then all we want to do, guys, is just stick this mirror in the light. And that is going to hit this pad. The floor is going to open up and the light is going to shoot through the floor. Now, from here, all we have to do is let's ascend through the floor. Now, if you didn't take care of the construct, go ahead and take care of him. But once you get up here, you're going to find another mirror. And all we got to do is let's just grab this mirror and let's stick it into the light to where it shoots towards this other pad. This pad is underneath that spiked wall. So that's why I said let's take that stone and stick it up on its end as high as it will go and stick it next to the wall because we needed that light to go up underneath this spiked wall. I had a hard time getting Riju to come back here, so I actually had to go back, find her, get her ability, and then come back and wait on her, I guess the yellow circle, to reach this battery before I could even hit it. So if you can't find her, I don't know, just walk around and try to find her or something. She takes forever. Now from here, guys, you can use the fast travel and get back to the main room, or if you actually just use this trail that's on the floor, I guess this electricity trail, it'll take you back to the main room. But once we get into the main room, let's use that wind gust and let's get up in the air, and we're going to go right here where you see this construct. Just take care of the construct, and then if you look in between these 2 torches, you're going to see an opening. That's where we need to go. And once you get in here, you're going to see a block laying on the ground, and in behind the block, you're going to see some mirrors. Now, all we want to do here, guys, is let's take this block and let's stand it up on its end. And then let's take a mirror and we're going to set it on top of this block because we want it to shine out into the main room. And then let's just make our way back out to the main room, and you're going to see it's kind of hitting this statue. So all we need to do is let's slide this statue until the mirror that's in the hands of this statue gets hit by this light. Now, if for some reason you need to go back and readjust your mirror that's on top of that block, you may need to do so, but let's just get it to where it hits the mirror that's in this statue. Now, once you can get the light to hit the mirror that's in the hands of the statue, just follow it over to this statue and let's move this statue until the light hits the mirror. And then if you'll look, it's pointing down towards the ground. So let's just follow this beam of light. Now, I just wanted to show you guys, I had a little bit of trouble, so you may need to adjust this statue until you can hear the chime that you have found something, because I had to move it just a little bit and adjust it some. Okay, so now let's jump across and let's follow this beam of light. And once again, we're just going to step on the button and the statue is going to move out of the way. Now, guys, when we get into this next room, it is full of enemies. And what I did is I just threw some puff shrooms. Now, you're going to see, I guess, a Gibdo hive in here. I tried to take care of that first just by using Riju's ability, but I was hiding behind the puff shroom smoke. So just take care of that the best way you can. I threw a dazzle fruit so I could take care of the Gibdos. But again, guys, I just kept throwing puff shrooms, and the enemies that were on the ground, it made it real easy to get behind them and perform a sneak strike. Now, once I took care of them, all I did was use some eyeballs so that I could take out the constructs that were on top of the platforms. Now, after you take care of the enemies, guys, we need to get this light up top. The pad we need to hit is up top. So I just used a metal grate, I attached a mirror to it, and a hot air balloon. And then there's a torch sitting around, so I just grabbed it, lit it on fire, and attached it to the hot air balloon and just let it slowly float up. Now you can ascend up towards the pad. There are some, I guess, jars sitting up here. I didn't find anything really, maybe an arrow or two. But once it hits the pad, it's going to open the gate and it's going to reveal the other battery. And then once again, all we have to do is grab Riju, use her ability, and hit the battery. And now we have one battery left, guys. Okay, so now let's just follow the electricity trail and start to make our way back to the main room. However, guys, if you'll stop right here where you see this design on the wall that goes all the way up and just ascend through it, there's kind of like a hidden chest here. It's in its own little room. But just ascend up through here, grab your chest, and then let's just ascend again to get out of here. Now, once you ascend out of the room where we found the chest, it's going to put you back into the main room. Now, let's just make our way over on the right-hand side where we had that opening that was right there between those two torches, and it hits that first statue. All we want to do is move this first statue so that the light will shoot all the way across the room. But then let's run all the way around the room to where the light is pointing to. Now, guys, I'm just going to let this play. That way you know where I'm going. But you're going to find a statue, I guess, that's kind of buried in the sand. Now, let's use that same weapon that we found when we first came to the temple, and let's just clear this sand. And then we're just going to move this statue. Now, guys, I want to show you this in case you run into the same problem and you can't figure it out. As you can see, I have moved this statue as far as it will go, but it won't hit the light. Now, do you remember where we took that block and we stuck it up on its end and we stuck the mirror on top? Okay, what we have to do if this happens to you is make your way back around to that opening and jump back through there, and you're going to have to adjust that mirror that is on top of that block so that it will hit this statue. And I just wanted to show you guys this because it took me kind of a minute to figure it out and figure what I had to do. So hopefully maybe I can help you with some major frustration. Now, once you make it back out here into the main room, if you had to go adjust that mirror, just make your way to the left to the statue that you see where there's no light hitting it. And let's just move this statue until the light hits it. Now, when it does, it should shoot up, like upstairs. It should be pointing upward. Okay, now once you get the light to point up to this last button, guys, to be able to get up there, just make your way across the room. And all we have to do is ascend. Now, I also want to show you this just in case you do the exact same thing I did. There are some ledges that you can ascend through and you can get to the right ledge. But if you do what I did, I ended up making it all the way to the top. If you do that, if you'll look in the floor, there's a hole. You can actually drop down in that hole and almost glide to the ledge that you need to be on. Now, once you finally make it to where you need to be on the correct ledge where you can see this green button or green pad rather, then all we have to do is just stand on the button on the floor. The statue's going to move, and then it's going to reveal, I guess, a bunch of flames that we have to jump through. Now, guys, just take your time. Use your paraglider. Take your time. I kind of stayed to the right-hand side, and I was able to jump down through there without getting touched by the flames. And this is going to be our last battery. However, you need to step on the pressure plate or the button on the floor to open the gate to get Riju to come through. Now, once you step on this pressure plate and the gate opens, you're going to run into a couple of constructs. Now, guys, I just used some puff shrooms, got behind them, gave them a sneak strike, but then we can get Riju to come in. Let's use her ability and let's hit this last battery. Now, once we hit the last battery, all we have to do, guys, is make our way back to the main room. You can use the fast travel or you can just make your way back. Now, once we get back here, all we have to do is touch the little hand thing, and now we're going to face off with the Queen Gibdo. Okay, now when you first face off with the Queen, all I did was I activated Riju's power and I got behind one of these, I guess one of these mushrooms, one of these Gibdo hives, because she will come charging at you, or she'll also do like a sand laser type attack. So you just need to be really careful. You can try to get behind these hives, but I used Riju's attack until it knocked her to the ground, and then I started using bomb flowers. Now she's also going to throw some tornadoes at you. The best way I found to get away from these things is just to kind of run to the side. Now Riju's power has to charge, so while the queen was on the ground, I just kept pelting her with bomb flowers, guys. And then as soon as I was able, I grabbed Riju again. Now, if you can't hit her, as you can see, she's charging at me right here. But now, if you can't hit her because she's moving around, if you have Riju's power activated, you can still use an eyeball, and that will help you hit her. But here again, as you can see, once she fell to the ground, I just started pelting her again with bomb flowers. But you've got to watch those tornadoes, and she will charge at you. Now, once we can get her to the second phase of the fight, guys, here is what I did. I fused some rockets to my shield because these mushrooms in the second phase are going to start dropping Gibdos. And I just got myself up in the air. And then I started hitting all of the hives with bomb flowers. Now, be mindful here because you cannot hit these hives unless the pink orb in the middle is glowing. So just be mindful of that. Now, once you destroy these, you're going to open up, I guess, these areas where light is going to come in. Now, some of these Gibdos are going to fly, but as you can see, some are going to be crawling on the ground, and they are fast. So if you can kind of hang out in these light areas, they'll come to you, and when they get in the light, they'll just start to die. Now, you can hit them with shock fruit, you can hit them with bomb flowers, or you can throw a dazzle fruit. But all we got to do here, guys, is we've got to destroy all of the Gibdos that came out of these hives. Now, as you can see right here, she started in with that, I just want to call it a sand laser. And I couldn't find a good way to get away from it. I mean, I guess you could use a rocket on your shield or something, which I started to use my rocket that was on my shield. So yes, I wasted it right there. But I changed my mind because I wanted to get Riju's ability so that I could hit this queen and knock her to the ground. Because the best way I found to take this queen down is to use Riju's ability, and when she hits the ground, just pelt her with bomb flowers. And again, guys, if you have Riju's ability charged and ready to go, and this queen's bouncing around and you just can't get a good shot on her, as long as Riju's ability is activated, you can attach an eyeball to your arrow and you're still going to get the lightning strike, and it's going to help you hit this thing. And even if you have Riju's ability ready to go and you attach a bomb flower to your arrow, you're going to get not only the bomb flower, but you're also going to get a lightning strike at the exact same time. So my suggestion in this fight, guys, is to pack yourself some heart replenishing food. Maybe make yourself some attack power food. Now, I'm using the Barbarian Armor. It will give you an extra attack power. If you don't know where to get that, I will leave a link in the description. You can use the Fierce Deity Armor. If you don't know where to get that, I'll also leave a link in the description. But I hope this helps, guys. If you enjoy content like this, show me with a like. If you're new to the channel, I hope you consider subscribing. And I'll just catch you guys next time.